We often treat intelligence as a storage tank for facts, but in a fast-changing environment, the value of what you already know depreciates. True intelligence is better measured by your ability to rethink. This graph illustrates a phenomenon known as cognitive entrenchment. As our accumulated knowledge rises, our mental flexibility often sharply drops. We become so confident in our expertise that we stop questioning the very assumptions that built it. When challenged, we default to 3 defensive modes to protect our identity. The preacher treats beliefs as sacred, pulsing outward to deflect facts. The prosecutor attacks, launching spikes to break another's logic. The politician abandons logic, morphing views to win crowd approval. While these modes have different goals, defending, attacking, or seeking approval, they all share a fatal flaw. They prioritize personal validation over the pursuit of truth, turning static knowledge into a heavy liability. The alternative is the scientist mindset. People who operate this way intentionally separate their identity from their specific beliefs. This shift changes the internal mechanics of how you think. Instead of viewing a deeply held opinion as a truth to be defended, a scientist views that opinion as a hypothesis to be tested. It moves the internal conversation away from the definitive "I'm right" and toward the open inquiry of "Am I right?" When your identity is tied to the act of learning rather than the contents of your current beliefs, being proven wrong is no longer a personal threat. It is simply an update to your dataset. This enables the process of unlearning. Growth requires more than just adding new information. It requires actively deleting outdated models to make room for better ones. Intellectual growth is a process of subtraction as much as addition. It requires abandoning old beliefs to more accurately navigate a changing reality. This internal shift completely changes how we handle external conflict and disagreement. When we play the prosecutor, attacking an opponent's logic usually forces them to dig deeper into their own trench. The more we attack, the more they entrench. The scientific approach suggests you win an argument by looking for ways to lose it. This involves replacing attacks with deep, probing questions. You listen for the underlying logic of the other person's view and map out areas where your perspectives actually overlap. To instantly shift the dynamic, ask this simple question: how might I be wrong? It moves the interaction from a power struggle into a collaborative investigation. Scientists treat arguments as data-gathering missions. Every debate becomes a chance to stress test their own hypotheses against new information. This individual habit of rethinking forms the architecture of high-performing teams. While some organizations rely on the ego of a single leader, the most effective teams operate like a peer review session. They build systems that encourage doubt, that invite healthy debate, and create constant feedback loops. In these cultures, leaders show strength by admitting what they don't know and actively asking their teams to challenge their current strategy. The people who navigate the future most effectively are not those claiming to have all the answers. They are the ones willing to change their minds when the evidence changes. Don't let your past conclusions dictate your future direction. Start questioning your most comfortable assumptions and look for opportunities to unlearn what you think you know. In a landscape that never stops shifting, the ability to rethink is what allows you to keep your footing.